Hello YouTube! What is ESP supercharge and what is this subwoofer? We'll talk about that in a moment. Okay, we have here a Digital Designs 9500 series 15-inch subwoofer with a dual 1 ohm voice coil, aluminium voice coil, flat aluminium voice coil, and a ESP package with supercharged subwoofer. Supercharge has a neodymium magnet on top of the center pole inside the motor here. And what that does is when you have a center pole on your subwoofer and you have voice coil around it like so. Actually I have here something. You have voice coil like so. The magnet is on top of here because the voice coil is centered here. So when your subwoofer goes up and down, it helps with the magnetic force because it is right in the place where the magnetic force field is the highest. So that makes a supercharged motors bigger than they are in normal. So this is a 9500 series and they say that the neodymium magnet gives like roughly 30% of more power onto the magnetic force onto the motor. So it's about 9900 series motor there without the excess, without the bigger motor or bigger top plate, etc. But the supercharge, supercharge is the neodymium magnet. It is. What it helps with fast transitions of music, like fast drum and bass or fast maybe dubstep or drums, fast drums. If you listen to music that has fast phasing, it helps with the cone movement. If the suspension and everything is soft, so the coil is much more it is faster to move with the bigger magnetic force without having a very large top plate to minimize the X-max. Well, talking about X-max, we'll talk about X-mech. What the X-max is, when you have a voice coil here inside, the X-max is actually the winding height of the voice coil minus the top plate. Now I have here, it's almost like an inch thick for top plate here. So if the voice coil is, let's say, 80 millimeters long, like so, minus the top plate, so it goes roughly 20 to 25 millimeters on top and 20 to 25 millimeters below. So that's X-max to the plus X-max minus, because it's not the maximum excursion of the subwoofer. It is just a measurement of how much winding, how many windings of voice coils is on top of top plate and below top plate. Now X-mech measurement is how much the voice coil, how much the subwoofer can move from one end to the another end without breaking. So that actually is, when we talk about breaking, it will probably hit onto the back plate, or the cone underneath here will hit on top of the spider here, or something will break. So X-mech is the thing that tells you how long excursion you can have, how long piston depth you can have with a subwoofer. Now, when we talk about pistons, we talk about piston area of a subwoofer. Now this is a 12-inch subwoofer gasket here. So as you can see here, the cone inside is roughly, it's a 35 centimeters from the center of the subwoofer, surround here to center here roughly, so that the normal 15-inch subwoofer is around the size of the subwoofer surround here. but this is much larger. So if we calculate like on normal subwoofers, from the outside of the subwoofer to outside of the subwoofer, it probably is like 16 to 17 inch subwoofer. But because Digital Designs with these ESP series, they are planned to make a subwoofers branded that the piston area is the size of the subwoofer, which is quite clever actually. If you compare this to, let's say, Sundown Audio NSV3 18-inch subwoofer, the cone area actually is roughly the same on the both subwoofer. So if you compare like Sundown Audio NSV3 15-inch, it will be smaller, the Sundown cone area, than the Digital Designs cone area, with having the same amount of excursion because of these ESP series and the big package of the spiders here. Now the frame is brand new. I have never seen ever like in any brands a similar basket here, but Digital Designs has came up with this very actually it looks in pictures, it looks kind of like a stamped steel basket because it has the same feelings, quite large openings and soft parts, not a many spoked aluminium basket, but it actually is in real life, it looks much better for my taste of view. It has a logos in all around, so you can barely unnoticed the Digital Designs if you don't see the dust cap or anything else. So it has very many very many sides, Digital Audio and DD logos, etc. Now what I especially like with this frame, actually this is so heavy. I especially like it because if you can see here, it has so big openings underneath the spiders that the voice coil can cool off very much. It actually is only 1000 to 2000 RMS, but a peak power of a whooping 8000. I actually have to check it out here. 8000 watts of burst power. So if you're planning to make, like, let's say a dB drag, burping, maybe get a ESP series subwoofer with a carbon what is this? Carbon cone, because if you are playing like high notes, 68 Hz or something like that, it will be much better. But musically, the supercharged version with a pressed paper, actually it's unpressed underneath, but pressed on the top of here. It might be 2-layer. Of course it must be 2-layer because this is pressed, this is not. So if you are making a sound quality wise, you probably should choose this with a paper cone, or make it and especially take the supercharge option as well, because it helps in fast basses. And what else I can talk about underneath here? So it has a 10-inch, actually it was like 9 something or 10-inch spider here. It actually does not say it in here, just motor diameter, shipping weight, etc, etc. It says it weighs 77 libs. Well, that's a lot. That's around 35 kilograms. So the upside of having a very large spider down here helps with the big linearity of the subwoofer, with the big throw and big piston length, because it has a very high and wide it has very high and wide form here, and everything is sealed up with a black CA glue. Now the best part of this is the voice coil. I had a 3500 series subwoofer with a dual 2 ohm voice coil, copper voice coil. Now this is a flat aluminium voice coil. Now the aluminium has much better heat dissipation when you play music. So if you burp, this large ventilation area here, the holes in the back, and the large piston area underneath the dust cap helps cooling the subwoofer voice coil. And when it's aluminium, it cools down much easier. The copper holds much more heat during play and dissipates heat slower than aluminium, which makes it, I don't think it's much worse, but it, in my opinion, it makes it worse in demoing or in demo cars, because on demo car you need to like play all day long, and if you have a aluminium voice coil, it releases heat much quicker, so it does not heat up the top plate or even the motor. With the 3500 series, the last series, I think it was J, or was it even earlier series? No, I'm not quite sure, but it had the problem of heating up the motor in long plays, and with that it gave me much more resistance into the voice coil because the heat, and I was not able to play that long that I wanted with the old 3500 series 18-inch subwoofers. So with this aluminium voice coil, I think it would be much better. And actually I have been playing these driven in some of these subwoofers, and I can play like 20 amps inside the voice coil in the range of the FS with the high like 80mm excursion, and it just cools down completely after I press the pause. So it's, the voice coil is very good. What else? Well, we can talk about this ESP a little bit more. When this is a 15-inch subwoofer, sized roughly like 16-17-inch subwoofer, it has the frame of a like 18-inch subwoofer, so this is much bigger than a normal 15-inch subwoofer. Now with these dimps here, they are actually the same material of the surround here. It's foam surround. It's sound quality wise better than a rubber surround in my opinion. Now it has the different thickness, different density than this. The dimp has different density than this surround here, which helps when it goes into the maximum linearity. When a subwoofer, normal subwoofer, is pressed in, it will have dimps every around here, and which can move the voice coil inside the magnetic gap and make it like so it can hit on the side of the motor or the side of the top plate, or even sand down the voice coil former inside the centerpiece. So that's not a good thing. And I have here a subwoofer that has the problem of dimping the upper surround here. Now, I don't want to say that this is a bad subwoofer for doing that. This is the cheaper brand. Actually, I'm not showing the logo here. I just want to demonstrate what does it look like when it goes into maximum maximum piston stroke, and what happens in the end. So this has a large surround here, and when I press it in, it goes smoothly, and then it bumps. A lot of dimps all around. Now that, if it does not every time go perfectly in the same places, it might turn down, move the voice coil so it hits on the sides. Now Digital Designs is famous about having a subwoofers with a very tight magnetic cap, or the area where the voice coil moves. We have a couple of 95 series 12-inch subwoofers. I think there was I or J series that has so soft suspension that if you play it long enough with a long excursion, it will slightly move the voice coil and rub very easily, because there is like, in the 3500 series there was like 0.4 millimeters area to voice coil to move. So this, if this is a centerpiece and this is voice coil, so in here it had 0.4 millimeters before it hit the centerpiece. So it was very, very tight, and with that tightness, with that small tolerance, you can get much better force into the voice coil from the motor. So it's more efficient. The subwoofer is much more efficient. Actually, these 9500 series, 35, and everything that is made in USA has much tighter the gap than the Redline series or anything that comes out from China. I'm not sure that if it's 100% sure, but every subwoofer that I have reconed or made with a Digital Designs motor, every time the gap is so tiny, so I have to be very precise when I'm gluing the spider to the voice coil, that it does not bend even a little bit, because it will rub. That is making it hard to recon, but it's making it much more efficient subwoofer than any other brands I've seen so far. So with that said, that is probably the reason I chose Digital Designs on my car. They have so much good things going on. They are so precise on the subwoofers. Everything they design and make has a reason why they are made. So not just get a part and glue it in and sell it out. Just they are thinking, they are wise of using everything. Actually, it is Cyberbond. The glue is Cyberbond. It's super strong black CA glue with a slide rubber inside. It is very good glue. I use it. Also, actually, I haven't got a Digital Designs glue yet, but I use similar products, but I like them very much. So if you have any questions about Digital Designs ESP series, Supercharged series, or about my build, you can put a comment down below. But so far, I'm stoked about this subwoofer. I will be installing 6 of those with a 2 Digital Designs N5s, 0.66 ohms nominal impedance, and I will be getting roughly, I have like 2.6 impedance rise on my box rise on my subwoofer box, so I will be getting like 1.5 ohms probably at the lowest per amplifier, so I will be on the good side in a 4-auto bandpass. But it has been a fun ride with the Digital Designs, and I will be continuing making videos of Digital Designs products and everything else. If you have something in mind what you want me to unbox or tell something about, just let me know. I'm going to ask, and if I can have a subwoofer or a... Actually, the Digital Designs have those tweeters that connect behind the mids. That would be quite nice to unbox and see what Digital Designs have been thinking about making them, how they work, etc. But this subwoofer, I love it so much, and I have 6 of them, and I will be playing some hard bass on this summer. I hope. I'm making my build as fast as I can, but hey, we all have some minor difficulties in our systems or in our lives, so everything is coming up nicely. So this has been Digital Designs DD9515 case subwoofer with a dual 1 ohm flat aluminium voice coil and a ESP package, and also supercharged. See you later. Thumbs up if you like, thumbs down if you dislike. See you on the next video. Bye bye.